Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel, and we are going to work on this picture again. I believe this is part 4, and I'm going to use a little bit more of the pan pastels because I am trying to get myself really comfortable with them, and I wanted to actually try to get a picture done with mostly of the pan pastels. So I'm going to do a background kind of down here to give her something to be crawling on, because she's just a little baby, and then kind of a sky coming up from the top. So we're going to kind of make, I've kind of drawn a little tiny lines here so I can kind of get a figure out of what kind of area I want here. I also put a little Posca down here. I'll use a pencil to point at this. I kind of rounded out her palm of her hand here, and I put in a couple of wrinkles here, like babies when they put their hands down and they crawl with their arms straight. And I had a few comments about how her hands are big and her arm is too short or something. Now, I did not draw this, but I am going to stand up for the artist. Because if you take your hand and you put it up towards your face, your hand covers your face. So the hand size to this baby is correct. The elbow, since this is the shoulder of the babe here, her elbow is right in this area. Now you can't see that because of the sleeve that comes down, but when babies crawl, they crawl with their arm totally straight so they don't fall. Babies never crawl with their arms bent. So you're not really going to see the angle of this arm. Now there is a little shadow on the fuller line, dark drawing on this particular picture. This is the light drawing, and I may have missed the little mark here that has a dimple for the baby's elbow, and I really don't know how to put that in, so I'm not going to attempt it, but I think it looks fine. I did shorten this part of the arm that came down at more of an angle, so I just rounded it out because I want to put a piece of mounded dirt here underneath some areas, and I thought it would look better as a shadow. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take in the skin tone. This is the skin tone set we used for her skin, her hair, and I believe I used a little bit in the snail. This is a really good set for starters if anybody was interested in that, because you can use the brown tones for hair. Also great for the skin tone when you're putting shadows on the skins. There is a light yellow in here that you can also use with the skin tones to make a nicer coloration to the skin, but that yellow works really well with these browns for branches and or hair. And we do have the pink here that's great for cheeks, but also for any of the other colors that you pick up, because this is the red tint, and if you have a red dark, that's how I managed to get one of the shadows in this shirt. And it comes with the colorless blender, which I absolutely love. If you have paper that has a lot of tooth to it, you can put this down first and then the pan pastel on top of it, and it blends it perfect. You can put that on one of the little blending sponges and change the color of the say this dark one and you want it lighter, put the colorless blender down first, add a little of that, and it will lighten that color up. So this set I will link down below in this video. It's a little cheaper to get them in these kind of sets. They're still expensive, but it's cheaper to get this kind of set than it is the 20 that comes in a box. And this one I have used on almost every skin that I have done with the pan pastels, and you can always darken or change the color by putting pencil on top. So I do recommend this set. And I'm going to use it again. We're just going to take the darkest color here and we're going to add it as a shadow under her areas here that she's going to lean down on the darkest place first, and that means under here too. And since I put Posca on there, I'm going to have to try to get that in there a little better. And then you just kind of draw the line out a little bit. Okay, bring it down, draw it out. We're going to put some up here in the grass. And remember, they're pan pastels. If you don't like where you put the color, you can erase it. Change it up any way you want. So we have some grass coming out here, so we don't want to get it too dark there. But I also want to put it like under the rocks. There's a shadow down here coming out. Okay, a little rock there too. Then we're going to go in with the lighter color down. I had a piece of paper out here earlier, but I don't have it with me now. So the dark one is Burnt Sienna Extra Dark, and then we're going to go into the next one down, which is Burnt Sienna Shade. Okay, and we're just going to add some of that into that, and then bring some of that down. And lighten it up a little. I just got to figure out where I put the grass here. Bring a little of the colorless blender in. Try not to get her little booty there. Okay. Around our little snail. Kind of want to get a nice coverage down here. Just bring in the colorless blender and you can blend that all down, lighten it up a little bit. And I'll get a bigger, use this big sponge here. So I don't have any lines there. Now, don't forget, we can erase. I'm just going to put in kind of rounded areas. I think that looks better. Okay, we're going to take the eraser and get everything off of, try not to touch everything. See the rock here, the leaves. Her little booty over here. Got it in her pants. We want that out. Okay. Then I'm going to go down and spray this. I was asked if I could show that process. My problem with doing that is I take the image down into my garage and spray it down there. Takes a bit of time to do it because I have to let it dry. I prefer not taking you all down into the garage. I need that little duster here. There we go. But I will bring the spray back upstairs if you want to physically see the can. I do leave a link in the description box if you open that up to where you can get it on Amazon. It shows you the can on that, so if you don't mind just opening that, I'd prefer not to bring the can into the house. There we go. So what I'm going to do is go down and spray this, and then I can come up and do some touch-ups here and there. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. And I'm going to go ahead and put some brown shading in here. So we're just going to pick up kind of the same tones we had up in her hair. So all these pencils are just sitting on my desk and I'm picking them up and using them. So they'll all be in the description box below too. So I have the brown ochre here, and we're going to use that one first. It's going to be a little bit lighter. And we're just going to go in and kind of touch up this area here. Now if you noticed, I'll get you down a little closer. I did not get the eraser too well in here, but since the brown is representative of dirt, she may have gotten a little dirt on her booty while she's crawling around. So it's not going to bother me any, and it'll give a nice shadow. So if I got some little curves here, I'm just going to go with that and add those in a little bit more pronounced. Usually I would do this with Distress ink, but I'm trying to spread my interests out a little bit more. Okay. So again, I'm kind of using the side of the pencil. I'm not really putting the point down, and I'm just lightly going over this to catch any of the white areas or darken any areas that I feel need to have a little bit more darkness to them. Somewhere in here is a little brown too. Little shadow under that one. Okay, that just kind of dresses it up a little. I'll probably play around with that a little more. But we have a sky to do too, and we're going to do that in some blue going up. So we'll get that palette out. And, all right, that's this one. This is Flower Coloring Kit number 2, Susan's Garden. And we're going to probably go in here with the Phthalo Blue, which is a very light blue, and the Phthalo Blue shade, and try to get kind of a variation going up into the sky area. So we will open that up. We will try to open that up. That's the hardest part, but I prefer trying to open these up than I do those little ones that come in the long thing and they're all attached to each other. Okay, what are we going to use here? Tool-wise, I've got blue handled with the round tip booty on it. And we're just going to go in here and put in a blue sky here. We'll put the light down first, kind of go around, right into the plant. That's good. Around the plants. Around the plants. And we'll bring in some of the colorless blender to pull that up a little easier. In her hair, or behind her hair there. And just bring it up. And kind of let it just float out. So we're going to take a bunch of that colorless blender and just kind of very softly pull all that color out towards the edges of the paper. Okay, just keep going around and doing the same thing. Remember, we can erase. Okay, down on this side. And then the colorless blender and blend it on out. Okay. Now around here we want to make it a little darker. So bring in a scratch paper and see if that one's a good bet. Or if we like this one. And I like the other one I chose. So this is the dark phthalo shade. And we'll go around what's closest to her and the bottom of the page and darken up these areas. Sorry, I didn't know if you can see that. Bring in the colorless blender and we're going to just blend it upward. Okay. Kind of like that. We're going to go in with a softer eraser. It's my little candy one. And just gently erase around her hair. I don't want to pull any color out of her hair, but I don't want it blue either. I think we got a tiny bit on her nose here. You don't have to be too careful with the leaves because you're going to do those in green. A little blue would give it a nice shadow, but we did get a lot on a little ladybug here, so get some of that off. Okay, then we'll bring in our little brush and just dust this. It's like I just had it. Here we go. All over the desk. Okay, so let's see if we need to get it darker or lighter in any areas before I go down and spray it. I think I want to bring in some more of that dark just under her chin here. And we'll add in some of the colorless blender there. Don't want it too dark. Okay, kind of like that. All right, so I'm going to go down and spray that. Of course, after I erase this little bit. I want that to stay white. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll be right back again. Okay, we're all back. I did bring in the can, so this is the stuff I use. It's a Krylon workable fixative. I got this off of Amazon, and like I said, I'll leave a link down below. And you just follow the instructions here. For pencil, charcoal, watercolor, ink, India ink, and a crayon. Charcoal is going to be about the closest you can get to the pastels you're using, so if it works on those, it'll work on this. Always has for me. It will cover up, what, 15 to 20 square feet, used in a very well ventilated area. This stuff has an odor to it. It's not odorless, it smells, okay? I keep it in the garage. I hold this a good 10 to 15, I guess, 15 inches away, and lightly spray it. And I'll do it in shots, like spray, 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 and then turn it and do it the other way so it is like it's coated so nothing will move. I let it dry in the garage. Dries in 10 to 15 minutes. You can handle it after an hour. You can recoat it over and over and over again. I mean, if you just read the instructions here. After each use, you should clean the little valve up here so it doesn't get the stuff coated in there. It tells you by holding the can upside down and spraying it. You could wipe it with a little bit of rag with water on it. So that is what I use. And that's how I use it. So it says pastels and chalk drawings on it right there. Prevents your smudging and wrinkling. It will not wrinkle your paper. This is 110 cardstock. It's not going to wrinkle this anyway. And then you can rework on it. Okay, so you can just put another coat of pastel down or pencil, go back, spray it again. Now, I only use it when I use pan pastels. I do not use it on any of my other colorings. So what I'm going to do here is I want to darken some of these areas, and I used a couple of pencils to do her bow, and we're going to use those to darken some areas down here. So that is the Phthalocyanine blue and the Persian blue. Obviously one's darker than the other, so I'm going to go with the darkest color first, and we're just going to kind of give this a deeper shadow around her. I'll get you down for this. One, I have to be down for that. So we're just going to darken in this area here. Darken where her shirt is. There's a piece of grass there we don't really want to go over. So it's kind of medium pressure here, and then just kind of lightly bring it up. Fades right into that color. But this helps define the two different areas, because that color is the same color we used on her clothing. And I want to darken up down here next to the brown. the lighter blue, which is the Phthalocyanine. I'm going to get pencils so that I can say the names of easier. Okay, we'll just bring that up. Go up here around her hair. Around this side of the bow. Her face and her neck area here. Okay, so that just darkens it up a little bit. We'll go down in here where the grass is. If you don't have pan pastels, you can just use your pencil and do this whole background too if you want. Like I said, I want to get practice with these. I enjoy using them, especially when, like now, my wrist is not doing its best. They're easier to lay down a lot of color with. And if you want it a little darker there, just go in with the darker of the blue. That'll be good enough. Okay, we have to work on the leaves, the grass, and the rocks. And her booties. Maybe we'll do her booties. Kind of want to do her booties in the pink like her shirt. And that was... let's see. Oh, that's a pretty color for leaves. Let me do the leaves in that. And that. That's pretty too. Oh my goodness, this whole block is gorgeous for colors of green. I'm sorry, you don't even get to see them. Aren't those pretty? And another one. And then we have a brown tone. I don't know if I want the brown, but anyway, I was looking for the red. Scoot those out of the way. That's yellow. That's the pink, which is actually not pink. It's permanent red tint. And then the permanent red extra dark, just like I did her shirt. And we are going to do her little booty here. So we're going to dip it in the, move these other colors away here in the dark. And we're going to put a little of that down here. A little of the pinker color towards the top. Crap, you can't see, I'm so sorry. And then get some colorless blender in there. It's a bit of a booty in the back here. A little bit more of the colorless blender and just get that a little lighter there. There. I like that. Okay, we're going to we have a color here. I'm just going to go right in. This is praline brown. Access this little toe here. Darken it up a little bit. Just go right over the pastel. Darken this area. Okay, we will spray that. Gonna add just a little bit more pink on top here. Okay, I'm going to take it back down and spray it. I need to use the little eraser here. Get it out of there and maybe highlight that little toe a little bit. And that heel. Okay, so we're going to spray those little guys down. Let's see what else I can do that would be easy and quick so I don't have to keep running up and down the stairs. Like I said, we're going to try to do a couple of these leaves, so that would be another tool in here. This one looks okay. I got lots of little tools, if you're wondering. Kind of like this one, little pointed one, and I mean this one's pointed more than this one. We'll use these both, and I need a scrap piece of paper to see what color these are. Okay, so like that one, which is the first one I put down. Nope, this one. Okay, this one first. This one is the Hansa Yellow Extra Dark. And then we'll go in with this one, which is Bright Yellow Green Extra Dark. I like those. And what is this? Oh gosh. Dariel Yellow Extra Dark. And then I'll bring in the, if I can get it out of the case. Come on. Then I can read it too. Bright Yellow Green Shade, which is a little brighter. Okay, so it's what I used on the grass blades, but it can highlight. So we'll do this little bunch here, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we'll put like a highlight on this side. Little booty here. Okay, so that was the same color I used on the grass, bright yellow green shade. Then we're going to bring in the bright yellow green extra dark. And just kind of bring that in. And then bring in a darker shade, which is the, yeah, I'll just show it to you in a second. Kind of gives that a brown look. We're still going over all of this with a pencil, so we're just putting on base coat. Okay, that one is the Dariel Yellow Extra Dark. And then I want an even darker color here. But I want darker green. And I think this is going to be not dark green. Yeah, let's dark something else. So I'm going to bring in some of the colorless blender and just kind of soften that up a little bit. Gonna brighten that grass up a little too. Gonna run around and do this one down here too. Okay, might as well do them all. Get them all sprayed at once. Put a little of that in these rocks too, just because they could use a little green. I'm going for a darker green here, just to give it some shadowing. I know it doesn't look all that great right now, but it will. A little bit of the colorless blender. Okay, move those out of the way. If you went over, didn't like what you did, you know what we do. Just bring in the eraser. These have got holes in them, so we'll want to get some of that out. We want to find the ones that have the holes. Just get the pastel out of it. If we went over the edge, just go around it. Did I spray this when I did the blue? I don't know. Not the pencil, at least. Okay, we got a little green here. Bring up some of that grass. We got another hole there. Anybody else have a hole in it? Can't tell. Okay, this little spot here. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna dust that off. Oh, dropped. Just dropping stuff all over the place. Okay, I am going to take a little more of that. Yeah, it's not the blue one. Where's the blue one? I was going to soften this blue up a little bit. And I don't see a blue one here. So I'm just going to use one of these little sponges that come with it. And I'm going to go into that soft light blue I did before. And just lighten that up a little bit here and there. Helps blend in the pencil a little bit. Okay. Kind of bring that blue and the green together here a little bit. Okay, well, I'm going to go spray this and then we will be back. Okay guys, I'm gonna have to wait to do the rest of the leaves. I'm just gonna do it with some, you know, variations of green. I was going to take a little of the white and just do a little highlighting here and there too, but my wrist is kind of giving out on me here, so anything that is or supposed to be white that I got color in, I'm going to go over and lighten up a little bit and just kind of put some highlight in here and there. Just by adding a little of the Prism white in it, just to give it a little extra shine on the bow. Her little feet over here, I'm going to lighten up a little here, just putting a little white in, kind of getting her toe to stand out a little bit more. She's curled it under on that one too. So we're just going to lighten that up and then go across here where I want to keep that white. Maybe put a little highlight in her belt loops here, and then on all her little dots I want to brighten those up a little and make them a little whiter. And in her little lace thing here, I know I got it bluer, I want to lighten that up. And in her little sleeve here, we want to put some white in here. But all the leaves are going to have to go in another video, just because I can't do this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is call it, and we'll come back for a part 5. This is a kind of a long process for this picture. So I'll see you in part 5 if you want to hang out with me again. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye now.